Before we begin, I'd like to ask if you have any questions about the informed consent document.
No questions.
And do you consent to recording this video interview today?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you share your personal experience of dealing with mental health challenges during your youth?
Getting the right help, I think, was the biggest challenge. I had to go through my own school counselors. I had to seek out any kind of services on my own. It wasn't something that was like my family didn't know that mental help was available.
Okay. And would you say that there were any barriers that hindered your ability to receive appropriate mental health support during your youth?
The main barrier would be cultural, because in my culture, mental health does not exist. It's not something that you talk about. It's not something that you even say. You are not allowed to have these feelings of inadequacy, I guess. Um, you have one focus and one goal to meet, and that's to be the perfect child for your parents.
Okay. So I'm hearing you say that there were some cultural barriers to receiving mental health help. Is that correct?
Yes, as well as also just lack of information, lack of knowing how to find these resources. It wasn't something that was accessible through even my pediatrician.
Okay. And what is you and your family's culture?
I'm of Mexican American descent.
And from your perspective, how could outside of family, how could maybe some public social services or support have better supported you in addressing those mental health issues?
Uh, to have been made aware that any kind of mental health programs were something that was a possibility, to have access to therapists at all, to just information, resources, mostly resources, and it kind of like having somebody that can tell you this what's available to you would have been like really helpful.
Okay. What about reflecting on your life now? Do you see any long-term impacts of childhood mental health challenges in your overall well-being?
Yeah, there was a lot of damaging choices, I guess, that I made as a youth that could have been avoided, that have felt like these consequences have followed me into adult life, because it was something that could never be, that was never regulated. It wasn't something that I was able to have basically control over my mental illness. It was just something that it was not talked about. So instead of being in a safe environment, I would put myself in risky situations because of the mental illness.
Okay. And from your experience, do you believe that early intervention and preventative measures could have made a difference in your mental health journey?
It would have made a huge difference for me, just because of potential medication that I could have been on that would control um, a lot of the manic episodes, a lot of the maybe irritability and anger issues that could have been addressed to process in a healthier way.
Okay, I see. And how can individuals, communities, and policymakers work together to raise awareness and advocate for policy changes in children's mental health?
Accessibility, resources, mostly a lot of making sure that these programs can be funded, hopefully completely funded, so that even people in poverty who don't have access to healthcare might be able to access these things, and kids might be able to grow up healthy, or at least have better coping mechanisms.
Okay. And considering your experiences, what gives you hope for the future of children's mental health?
That little by little the stigma seems to be ending, that mental health seems to be seen now more as another medical problem or medical issues, as opposed to just something that you're acting out or trying to get attention.
Okay. Thank you so much for your participation in this interview. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.